Hello everyone, so I'm gonna share my screen right now. Up, there you go, like this. So today we are going to talk about the notification, the noisy one, the infamous one, and we're not only gonna criticize it, we're gonna find how to make it better for our product. So it would be like little tips and tricks you can apply to a product right away, and we're gonna try to make it this fun. So first of all, my name is Arthur, and I'm the lead UX designer in a little agency called Dernier Cri in France. Um, here you go. So as a lead UX designer, I'm finding a better way to make products and help the user understand what we want him to do and where we want him to go. We're based all over France in various agencies and soon the world, maybe. I love my job, but I have other passion in my life, like this. It's called farting slime. I don't know if you remember when we were a kid, and it's my favorite object in the world because basically it is the most UX object you can find because you give it to someone, they put the finger in it, it farts, and then it's one. So it's as simple as that, and it's like a reference to me every day at work. I always have one with me. Not long ago, I started an app called Na 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 Na. It's basically when Shazam fail you and doesn't find the song you're looking for. So you're gonna sing the song, and people within the community will tell you what it is. So it's kind of fun way to interact with people. This is me at my most glorious hour when drinking beer in festivals. I love to do that, and I hope when the pandemic is done, we can go back to that state. And I started a while back a Facebook page called Buy Shit. Basically, you can buy a shitty product, and I don't win anything with that. It's just for fun. So you can buy this book, like How to Talk to Your Cat About Gun Safety and other subject. You have these greeting cards to announce bad news, like it's syphilis. It's not always a great news. And finally, you have this this light, bike light, in a heart shape, according to the description. So normally we interact with each other physically, but the first question I ask is, have you ever felt overwhelmed and stressed by notification? Because the thing is, and I think it's why a lot of you are here today, is because the word notification has a bad connotation. It's just like something stressful and not good actually. You know, we always talk about too much notification and not good notification. So that's the first pain point that we can identify with notification. The second one is, do you remember this, the time when Candy Crush launched on Facebook and everything? Everybody received like an invitation from a friend to play Candy Crush. And so you say to a friend, I don't want to play Candy Crush, stop inviting me. He said, I don't send you that. So that's the second reason, is just the understanding of why we're receiving this notification. Sometimes we don't. And so it's like the pain points, the main pain point of notification. So let's start with, what's the deal with notification today? Try to make a little point of view of what we have today. So in my job, I have to design and imagine the path and the steps of every user. So what I do is I draw a user map. So you have on the left all the different actors, mainly the user. So here the patient, and on the far right you have the objective. And so we're gonna draw all the steps to reach his goal. Then we're gonna do that in screen, in Figma or Sketch or whatever. But you can see you have the user flow represented here. Of course, here, this one is an example. Then we're gonna try to make a prototype out of it to make user test and get feedback. And so it's awesome because along the way I can imagine and then test right away before development my product and get user feedback. But then you have the boss, my client, who say, okay, but what if we want to say to him that there is a discount? So I say, it's okay. We're going to make like a pop-up or a pop-in or a push, a notification push or an email. And so each time he asks me this, so we have like a stack of all this notification and everything. And it's just like a little overwhelming for the user, like this one. Then he say to me, okay, and if the app is not active, I say, don't worry, we're going to send him push, but then we're sending a shitload of push. And so finally the client said, okay, so you didn't think at all of this at all. And of course we didn't, because we just focused ourselves on the main path, the perfect path for the user, but not in a long run. You know, we're not focusing on the strategy to communicate with him in the long run, in the long term. So the thing you have to understand with notification is today we considered to include this solicitation in our lives. It's just, we're okay with that. It's just, we don't like it, but we're okay with that. Today, we're going to talk more about what I call solicitation, more than notification, because notification is support itself, and solicitation is just the global notion of it. So what you have to understand is just today, we have 71% of users that uninstall apps because of noisy notification. It doesn't seem like quite a lot, but it is, because when you think about email, you know, the little link unsubscribe at the end of the email, only 5% of users do that. But if 71% of users uninstall apps just because of noisy notification, that should be, and that has to be a matter of concern. So let's go back a little. At the beginning, what was it for? Just the notification, just to clarify for everybody. The definition in the dictionary is to make known. That's the basic one. I just open the dictionary and take it and put it to you right away like this. So I'm not an history teacher, so I'm going to make quick to the history of notification. The first one I can remember of is Mulan. So is an extract of the movie from Disney. So you can see that they're going to lead the fire on the Great Wall of China to vehiculate a message at the other end of China. Then you got the paper boy, of course, screaming. It's not just you're gonna buy the paper. He's gonna shout the news so you are informed of it. Then you have the first message of internet, of course, and we'll end to this really little red dot that absorb our mind. As I said, I'm not an history teacher. Maybe I lost some of it in the way. So today we can say the new definition is for notification is every communication that interrupt what we were doing and warn us of something. That's the new definition that we keep in mind for ourselves. So what's in it for the user? Like, because at the beginning it was something good for the user, right? So we have information in discovery. You know, it's just a lot of news and a lot of things very good to discover in real time. Sometimes it's just like you have the info right away at the exact minute, and on the correct device if it's done well, of course. The idea is that we all have a smartphone today, and so you have the information right in your hand, right in your pocket, and so it's awesome for brand to communicate with user like this. And what's in it for the business? Because of course, when I make product for my clients, I never forget the business part, because if they don't make money, then the product is going to die, and then my work is useless. So what's in it for the business? Real-time broadcasting, like we said, it's real-time, and they can communicate and make like offer that are very short in time on all the devices available. Today, we don't have only the smartphone, the tablet, and everything. We also have watch and everything. So, and tomorrow will be more. So it's kind of a great palette to play with. And of course, make money, because let's not kid ourselves. The first motive for notification is make money, is make my product known, of course. So right now, why is it a pain in the ass? Really, like we're gonna try to put our finger on why we hate notification so much. So researching my conference on the internet, I found a lot of articles like here in Medium, but they didn't help me to understand how to make better notification. They were criticizing it a lot. Sometimes it was like very hard, very very pushy title, but not so many were trying to really understand and try to create little tips to us to make it better. So the first pain point I can see is this little red dot. You know, it absorbs our mind like just like an illusion, and we want always to wash the screen. Like you open the app just that so that the little red dot go away. You don't really want to see the notification itself. The second one is the sound. So that's awesome sound vibration that we all love. It's perfect, and it's like a rhythm in everyday's life. So basically, that's the two pain points that we considered to include in our life. So right now, I want to dive in, and I will give you some of the tips. Let's go. I just love that part. So at the beginning, there were 5 elements. So we have the interest, the message, the device, the when, the frequency. So the idea is a notification is composed of all those 5 elements. Every notification is composed of all those 5 elements. So I'm going to try to give you tips on each element, but you have to understand that they work combined, of course. Some of the tips I'm going to give you can be combined, and some of the tips I'm going to say to you are like the opposite. So you have to find a balance between business and user experience. You have to adapt it to your product, of course, and you're going to choose, you're going to see. So let's start with the interest. So little fun facts. On average, we take our phone out of our pockets 221 times per day. It sounds like a lot, but sometimes you take it out of your pocket for looking at it. What time is it? Sometimes you take it out of your pocket and you don't even know why, and so you put it back. So make a count. Of course, it's an average, but I guess you will see you land mostly on this. So the first tips is the user must understand the reason of the request. I'm going to sound like Captain Obvious today, but that's really something important. Like I receive in my mail some proposition to enhance some parts of my body, enlarge it. I guess it's fine. I don't know, but I don't understand why I received this. Of course, this is an example, easy example because it's spam. But sometimes if I receive from your brand a message that I don't understand or I don't understand why I receive it, then it's going to create a bad connection, and I'm not going to like your brand for that. On Facebook, for example, I have like invitation to like the Vatican news page, or this is a program in France for all people, and I'm starting to ask myself, like, did I put the right birth date, or did I make a mistake? Because it's not for me, really. So I have to understand always why I am receiving this message from you. The second tips is the opening and the reading of a notification always come from a motivation. So we have to identify this motivation and choose how to speak accordingly. So they made a study in the US. They asked a lot of people, why do you open notification on one type of product? And they classified the answer in 2 columns, the motivation and the sensation of control, because the user like to feel in control of what he received. So you have the first one. I don't understand what's the deal with this product at all. No motivation, no non-control for the user. That's really bad. I open them because I'm forced to. So the motivation is external and the control is very low. I open them because the other do as well. Introversion and the sensation of control is medium. I do it because it's a trend. I open them because to be aware of things and follow the news. So the motivation is identify. The control is very strong. I open them because I find myself in those communication. So the motivation is integrated. Control is very strong. That's kind of very good. And I open them because they're awesome. So it's a motivation within me is very strong. So basically the hardest of all of this is the last two, the very strong, because you have to maintain, the boat afloat and keep that. With the other one, you always have a way to make him discover new things, or to give them more control about the preferences for the notification. So you have to identify the motivation of the user, and you can do that just by asking, why do you open a notification? Do you like a notification? And they will give you feedback. The third tips is every request need to incite the user to act right away. So it sounds like kind of basic advice, but when you receive this kind of notification, like, hey man, it's all synced, you don't have to do anything, then I don't give a shit, really. It's just like, why do you say that to me? If I don't have to do nothing, then don't say it. Really, it needs a basic call to action. So I will open it. A while back, we had like notification from LinkedIn like this: your profile has been auto updated, and for me, it's just like trash right away. Just go away. But if they were to say your profile has been auto updated, discover now all the new stuff, now I have a verb of action, and now I want to discover under the new stuff. So I know when I'm going to open it, what will be behind. Now we go with a smooth transition to the message. The message is really important. Lord Polonius in Hamlet, it was a while back, said brevity is the soul of wit. So basically, the shorter the better. With shorter text, we understand it better. So the first advice is a long notification doesn't help the understanding and can have bad effects on the long term. So they made a study again in the US, and they find out that with an exact sentence of 16 words, we can say whatever we want and make understand whatever concept. So let's try to in 16 words. You can make the test. If it's more, you can restart it and find out if you can manage to keep it within 16 words. Of course, that's the theory, and that's the cognitive studies that they made in the US. We are also constrained by the device. So if you can see on the, I don't know, yeah, it works. If you can see here on the lock screen, so that's what's important to us. We have like 156 characters according to which device. So that's for iPhone. So we can make 16 words, but not that much because we have a limit. On Android, you have less on the lock screen portrait, but you have much more on the notification drawer when you open it. So you can manage to do that kind of stuff and adapt your text, your message according to the OS or the lock screen or notification drawer you want to target. The second tips is you have to provide enough information in order to make the message understood. So that's kind of the opposite of what I just said before. But if your user doesn't have a call to action and enough information, it's not going to understand why you communicate with him. So a while back, I had a notification like this: A track, A there. And I didn't remember what the app A tracks was. So A is there, nice, but who are you? Why do you send this to me? So A tracks, it's an app for running, actually, but I didn't understand this communication. Then you have this like Amber Alert and check your TV or everything else than your phone to more information. So okay, nice, but you use less. You have to provide enough information so people can open it and or who want to open it and understand why you communicate with them. Then on the message, you have the tone. So the tone of the message have to answer the rule of the 3 C's. So it's context, cultural, and custom. So context is basically you have to adapt to your audience and what's at the right time, what's happening. So it's an example. It's an example here, of course, but you have a hurricane in the area, and Pokemon Go invite you to go outside and chase Pokemon. So yeah, a great time to go outside. So you have to adapt to the context. Sometimes you have conflict going on, and you have to adapt how you communicate with them. Cultural, of course. So, for example, if your target are senior people, of course, here it's an exaggerated example because Grindr is an homosexual data app. But if your audience is senior people, you're not going to send them emojis and everything because it's like hieroglyph for them. It's just like it's a code to decrypt. So you have to adapt. But if it's younger people or teenager, of course you're going to use, and it's a necessity to use emoji within your notification. Then you have the customization. So the idea is when your user use your app, you have to adapt to his way of playing with it in order to make better notification. Duolingo is an app to learn languages. I just subscribed on the service, but I didn't specify which language I wanted to practice or learn. And they send me a notification for each languages every day. Like, do you want to practice this? And it wasn't personalized. And so I installed the app because it was really noisy. So a good example of customization, of course, are Uber and Netflix. We're not going to dive into it because you all know this, but the idea is just you can see on the Uber one, they use the name of the user. Sometimes you can use some personal info you have on them, because Netflix right now is not doing this like this way. They say, okay, you're gonna like House of Cards because you like this series. So it's very interesting because I say, okay, he knows me well, so the notification is obvious and it has meaning for me. Then we're going to see about the device, because where do we send a notification is very important also. So the fun fact is the Y generation can scroll on average day up to 90 meters on the smartphone. So it doesn't seem quite a lot, but you have the impulsion of a scroll with the finger is just like 1 centimeter or 1.5. So to make to go to up to 90 meters is really, really, really a lot. So you have to be quick about your message and make yourself understood, because they're going to scroll you right away otherwise. So every device has its own target goal. So in my research, I find this scheme perfect to understand. So you have the urgency in the vertical and the rich content, the richness of the content on the horizontal. So you can see you have the push, we all know on our phone, the email, of course, the in-app notification, because of course you can send message within the app. And then you have the newsfeed, because we always forget, but in the newsfeed, like in Facebook, for example, in newsfeed, you have some ads, and you have sometimes some communication from Facebook itself. And this is a way also to communicate. It's not only for social media, it can be within your page, in your app, and you can use it to push rich content on this. So you have the urgency, of course, very important for the moment, but we're going to come back to this. Then you have to, you need to help the device transfer in order to keep user on track. So that's my favorite advice, I guess. I don't know if those are the scientific terms, but those are my terms. There are two types of transfer, the minor and the major. So the minor transfer is like this. I am Facebook, for example. I have an ad for PlayStation, and I'm gonna click on Spider-Man, right? And so I land on the PlayStation Store page, and I'm on the main page. I'm not on Spider-Man. So there's like a bug in my head. Like I click on Spider-Man. Why am I not on the page of Spider-Man? So that's a minor transfer. You can manage this with deep link. So I land really on the page of Spider-Man. Major transfer are more complicated. So I'm on the desktop version of a website for an app like this one, and I'm gonna click on the download, and then I land on the App Store, and it says, okay, but this app is only available on your phone. So I'm like, okay, so why the fuck did you put the button for me to download, even though I cannot? So it creates a major bug, and so I don't understand. So you can avoid this with great way, like putting an input for a phone number, and so you send a text on the phone of the user to download the app, so you manage the transfer. The next advice is notification are different, so why should they have the same design? We are now accustomed to the app scheme, so when it's green, it's okay. When it's blue, it's loading or whatever. And when it's yellow or red, it's just like danger. Something bad is going on. So of course we are limited by the notification, but if today you put like an emoji before you text, green when it's okay and red when it's bad, I don't know which one, but it can make the people understand your message before reading it. So we can use that. On Android, they made some tests, like you have the first one like this. You have the Google logo, but you have a little cloud. So you understand it's about the weather. Here it's about a game. Here you have live result of elections within this little animation. So basically, we can do a lot of things and very interesting things to make our notification understandable quicker and easier for the user. Then we have the moment, very important also. So nowadays, the generation using our app are affected by a syndrome called the instant gratification. They want everything when they want it, just the way they want it. So they're just like really big babies, always saying, I want it the way I thought it. So we have to find the great moment for them. So as we saw, a moment is always linked to a context. So I spoke about the larger context around me, but just the hour of your communication is a context in itself. So in the studies, you can see the difference between email opening and in-app opening. And you see it's mostly parallel on this. So you have a few that are not sleeping in the night opening the communication, but mainly is during the day. And you can see some of the moment, like 10, 11 a.m. it opens a lot, but of email because I'm going to work, so I'm going to open my email. And within the day, I'm more going to open the in-app notification because I'm tired. And so that's a good moment to communicate if you are an app. Then you have the same for the push send and the push open. So you can see mostly we always open them, more or less. But at the end of the day, mostly at 8 p.m., you have like a lot of opening because I'm at home and I'm gonna check whatever is happening on my apps. So you make a mashup of this and you have this hour. So the Wednesday, I'm gonna try to find, it's the middle of the week, I'm gonna try to find what's new at the middle of the day, sometime at night. Saturday, I'm gonna try to find what to do this weekend, and on Sunday also. So these are great, but they have to be adapted to a product, and we cannot all use this, because otherwise the user is going to be overwhelmed. The Sunday at 11 p.m. is going to be like a lot to take in for him. So the notification reduce the focus of the user on your product. So I know that's my favorite, actually. So something we can all manage today, we're going to try to do. So figure this. I download the app, I go through the sign up process, all right? And finally, I'm for the first time within your app. And right now, directly, I receive a notification say, hey, welcome to our app. And so I go to his email and I'm out of your app. So basically, it's just suicide from yourself. You just decided that you're going to send to me an email right now. So this welcome email to confirm the sign up is mandatory. So you have to do it. But why not just defer its sending, just like, I don't know, 15 minutes later, so I can focus on your app, I can stay on your app and discover it. And so you don't push me to go out of your app. So let's try to make this, and I think it's going to be better for all the user. If the user accepts to receive notification, he wants to be in control of when it happens. So we saw before that the sensation of control is really important for the user to accept and interact with your notification. Basically, when you download an app, you receive a notification like this one. System pop-up will say, do you want to activate notification? And I'm like, no, I don't want, because I don't know why you're sending me this. What kind of notification I will receive? So what I'm trying to do in my design is to make a screen like this one, explaining why the notification are important, the kind of notification you're going to receive, the frequency and everything, with the button activate notification. And when the user click on it, then you have the messageless system automatic pop-up. But he knows why the notification are important. And so mostly during my user test, they choose to activate it because they are like, okay, I understand why. You can do the same with geolocalization, because it's basically the same thing. Imagine to use Uber or Deliveroo without the geolocalization. It's just unthinkable. So you have great example like the Basecamp admin preferences for the notification, where you can choose the hour range when you want to receive notification, the day, and everything. And so this gives the user the sensation of control over this solicitation. Then we have the frequency. So we all have nowadays the EFS, the information fatigue syndrome. It's just we see so much ads on the internet, on the streets, on the TV every day, that we just in the supermarket, they made a study, we just take the first product we got. We're not really choosing. It's just like unconscious reaction. So we have to be aware of the frequency of our message. So avoid the duplication of similar information, even with a few days between. Basically, they made some experiments, and I guess now it's okay on iOS and Android. When you have various messages, you combine them in one notification, and it's great. You can do that with your product, just like if it's a messaging app, try to combine it in one notification, like you have 4 messages, for example. Some people on design website try to make like one notification. It's an idea, of course, and it's according to the OS, but for all the people like my friend who like to make message with one word, at least like you have all the conversation in one message. Some notifications are periodic, but most of them are sporadic. So basically, the periodic one we understand is just we define a regularity defined in the beginning, just like a newsletter. Every Wednesday, you're going to receive some offer. You need to prove obvious value for the user, otherwise it's not going to go for it. And you construct a relationship with the user, so that's great. The sporadic one is just there's no regularity, because it just lands some of the time when you have an offer and everything. no relation for with the user. So it's just like not really a connection. It's not expected from the user, and nothing actually. So you have to find a way to make periodic notification as your main thing. A while back, I downloaded an app called Drunk Shopping. So Drunk Shopping is basically a fake chatbot, a chatbot basically. And the premise is when you're drunk on the weekend, I'm going to send to you a really bad product on Amazon to buy, and you're going to buy it. And so I knew a date with this app on the weekend, but I didn't know why. So it was both periodic and sporadic in a way, and it was kind of fun. You have the same with that kind of website, like send 2 random pizza to your ex every month. It's kind of fun. I like this kind of concept. Too many messages provoke a feeling of false emergency and useless anxiety. So we saw in the scheme like the urgency, and so you have to understand and manage to differentiate your message and their priority. So you're going to use different support device according to the priority of your communication. Of course, if he's not paying his subscription, you're going to send a reminder and a mail and everything. But when it's not that much important, you have to choose like this. So you have this scheme presenting it perfectly. So how can we end this presentation well with all this information? Basically, we have like these 5 elements. As I said, every notification, every communication you're going to send to the user is composed of those 5. So you have to find the balance between what's good for the user, what's good for your business. Some people in my previous conference say, yeah, but what do we do in front of AliExpress or Amazon and everything? I'm like, it's okay if you're not like them. I mean, do you want to be perceived as a noisy notification app and be uninstalled, or do you want to be appreciated? Maybe you're gonna perform better like this. So you have to find the balance. Some of the notification will not be well received, some will, and it's okay. But you can manage to do it better today. You have to understand that notification are like DDoS attack on the brain. For those who don't know, DDoS attack is just the attack from hacker who connect a lot, send a lot of connection to make a server blow up. So it's the same with notification. We receive so much on the brain that most of the time we don't remember the one we received 1 hour ago. So you have great tool to make notification better. I don't work with them. I don't work for them. But Batch is a great tool. It's gonna make you think of the who, when, and what. Give you a methodology to planificate your notification, and it's great. You also have like a lot of awesome tool for this, like the silent push. Like really, you're sending a push, but it's not vibrating, there's no sound and nothing. And so it's great for the user because he's gonna see it the time he sees it, and it's okay. You don't interrupt his day. You have Ngam, which is awesome because it helps you understand with dashboard why your user uninstall your app, and you can see and predict if it's gonna be because of notification. So it's awesome for that. So basically, I leave you with this sentence to resume everything. So notification are an extension of your product. When your product is shit and lonely, then you're allowed to have shitty notification. So you choose. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna kill the share screen. And we can start the Q&A. I'm gonna go in Q&A. No question. Okay, so we have a question from Stefan. Do you think onboarding campaign with regular push message are good or bad? But it depends. I guess it depends on the product you're selling. I mean, if it's like employee onboarding, it can be great, you know, to have like a little reminder. What I've tried is the Trello onboarding, and it's great because every day you have like every day or every 5 days, I don't know, you have like a mail saying to you, hey, do you know you can do this? And I like this kind of onboarding. But when it sometimes you if you send communication to always say, hey, you forgot to do this, and you just like in a punitive way, you know, like a punishment, is not great for the user. So I guess you have to find the frequency of the message for the onboarding campaign you send, and then it's going to be great for your product. I don't know if you have any more question. Was that precise, this presentation? There's no question at all. Okay, another one from Stefan. Perfect. So copying over from someone else from the chat. Okay. Thanks for the question. How many retargeting message for exited basket is acceptable for you? Well, basically, it's just like I mean, I've been to like fashion shopping sites, do that a lot. Basically, when you retarget me with too much of an email, it's really bad. So I don't know the exact number. You know, it's not a perfect science for this. But if you make what I like to call an exited campaign, it's just like I don't go at the end of the purchase. You're gonna send to me like the next day, hey, we kept your basket for you, awesome. 3 or 4 days later, you say to me, hey, here is a discount to make me end my purchase. And then you can send a final one, I don't know, like don't worry about your basket, we're keeping it for you whenever you want. And then you stop. Like it can be like a good 3 steps communication to insist, but not that much. I guess I would do that, and you can do that with notification. You present it more like a service than just a retargeting attack. You know, I guess it could be good. It could be great. Great question, by the way. I don't know if you have more question. I think I don't see all the question. I don't know on the chat. Let's see.